Hello and welcome to Wednesday night. I am Leanne Winston. I hope everybody's had a really lovely week so far and are managing to stay nice and warm. It is pretty cold here in the Adelaide Hills at the moment. So once again, welcome to Wednesday night. Just want to run through some housework or housekeeping, I should say. Housework. I wish. Housekeeping rules before we do jump in. We will have the lovely Ros Bounty join us a little bit later, so she will jump in very shortly. Got a few things I want to plan or do a little bit differently tonight. As a lot of you know, we are going through a lot of change ups and different things at the moment in the way I'm working and my website and membership area and different stuff like that. So tonight I thought we might do something a bit different when Ros jumps in. I have put a guest link in the comments above the broadcast that people can jump in and if you want to come up on screen with us. And we thought tonight we would talk about spirit and things that people have experienced, and you may not understand what it is, and maybe Ros and I might be able to give you a little bit of insight into that. But we figured it'd be lovely to hear what other people's experiences are with spirit in the way of the physical form sort of thing. What is it that you have experienced? What is it that you're not too sure of? You might have questions around how this side of stuff works, so we'd be happy to answer that very shortly. But what I would like to ask people to do is help me share the love. Invite your friends and family to join in as well. Let them know we're here because they might find this stuff really interesting. You never know when something's going to resonate with somebody or they might get a message as well. If you are watching from any other page besides mytimetv.live, please do jump over here. The link is in the comments above. If you're commenting from Leanne Winston Psychic Medium or any of those other pages that we do cross post from, or to I should say, each week, we won't see your comments, so you do need to be here in My Time TV with that as well. Now I can see some people tagging friends. Beautiful, thank you for sharing. You do need to hold the shift key down and number 2 at the same time, then type their name without a gap, and that will tag them, because if they're not following this page, they're not going to see your tag otherwise as well. So we've got some people here just saying hello. So we've got Hayley saying she's excited to be here. It's lovely to have you here, honey. And we've got the lovely Mary here as well saying, loving your new look. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. We have the gorgeous Debbie here as well saying, hi, gorgeous. Hope you and yours are all well, safe and sound. We are, thank you. And I hope you guys are too. And we so need to catch up, honey. I know we keep saying that, or I keep saying that. And I've been thinking of you at times as well. So thank you, Kylie, for tagging as well. All right. And Josephine says, hi, Leanne, love how you love reading music starts. Oh, thank you, honey. Yeah, it's just something different. I'm really finding myself being a little bit more creative lately, and I'm loving that energy as well. So it's amazing what we're coming up with. I'm about to kickstart, I guess I can tell you now. At this stage, on the 1st of July, I am kickstarting a 14-day mindset challenge. So it's 14 days where people can, well, when you sign up for it, every day you'll get some information to help you change your mindset, to help move some of those fears and blockages and looking at why they're happening and stuff like that. So that's a 14-day mindset challenge that anybody can join in. Keep an eye on my Facebook page, because hopefully over the next couple of days I will release the link for people to be able to book themselves into that workshop. It is going to be $55 for the cost of that. But I've just loved being very creative and making the covers and different stuff lately. So it's been good. I can just see the gorgeous Ros is coming in. So I will bring her up into the stream as well. What's going on? We've got you on solo. Oh, hang on, Ros. I'm not sure what's going
Keep
on
on.
there. Okay, let me close this screen.
I've got a heater going in the background too. It's a bit noisy.
Yeah.
Have we got
Okay.
some fun things happening with BeLive or
We
Facebook?
have. I can hear you. I'm not sure if anybody else can hear you, but I can't seem to get your screen and my screen up together.
Oh, that's a bit weird.
It is. It's only giving me the thing for one screen. Ross, do you want to jump out, hun, and
That's
just
weird.
drop back up in and see if that helps?
Yeah.
All right.
Drop out as in in screen, no, out
Yep.
screen, cross off.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, beautiful. Just bear with us, guys. Just while Ros pops back in here as well. All right, so we've got lots of hellos happening here in the sidelines as well. And Tanger says, "Hi, Leanne, I hope you're doing well. Do you see me moving soon, please?" Thank you, shared it. Yes, I do, honey. I get a very strong yes with that one as well. So just waiting for Ros to pop back in. Oops, she popped in for a second and she dropped back out. All right, gorgeous. And Kylie is still tagging people. Thank you, honey. Really appreciate everybody's love and support in helping me with that side of it. All right, let's see if we can bring Ros back up in now. I don't think it's going to work. It's still showing me the same thing. It's not working. All right, guys, just hang on a sec. I'm going to refresh my page and see if that helps. I'll be back in 1 second. Oops, where's my refresh button gone? This is really weird.
I've got a different back end. Like
that sounds good, Ros. You got a different back end.
It does. I wish it'd be a lot smaller back end. That'd be good.
Oh,
Can other people hear me or not?
I have no idea. Can people let us know if Ros, you can hear Ros?
Leanne, you all look like you are lip syncing with Ros, so they can see me. Yeah.
Oh,
no? Oh no.
Hang on, let's go down.
Mary Waters has got that one as a comment. I can. Yeah, Wendy was
lip syncing with Ros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come we can't be on it?
Mine's coming up as Ros, you've got audio only.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
No.
It looks totally different to me at the back end.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to try refreshing my screen and see if that helps. Ros, do I click on the icon? Because hang on, reload. There we go. Let's see if this helps.
Mary's saying yes, Ros. I'm not sure what that's about. Yes, we can hear Ros. They can't see me. Interesting. Very interesting. One of the things that happened today over in the US, admittedly, I checked myself with BeLive, is the opportunity to do dual casting, multicasting, whether that's got something to do with it.
Myself. I can put you up on screen.
Yeah,
now you've got no sound. Oh, yeah, now you have.
No sound. Yeah.
But yes, I can't have two of us on screen at once. This is really weird. I'll just flick from screen to screen like this.
We can hear Ros but not see her, but that's Mum saying that.
Oh, okay.
As in Margaret, all right, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. Could I have
that is really weird.
I'm just wondering, what's this little button I've got that says screen? Oh, no, that's sharing my screen.
You just open another screen.
So what did that do? Oh, we've got some weird things.
Another thing. Yeah, we do, don't we?
It's the BeLive. It's doing weird things.
That's all right. So obviously, Ros, people can hear you, so that's a good start.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear Ros in the background. Issues, Ros. See, it's only giving me one screen. I don't get to change type of thing. It's just the solo, up and down sort of thing. So, do you mind just being a voice tonight, Ros?
Look, I have no issues with that at all. As much as I have beauty within my realms and everything else, I don't have to share it.
I love it.
Oh,
There's
God.
never a dull moment, is there? It's gorgeous.
Well,
So excellent. So we've got a few people here saying hi in the
I am just
background.
really intrigued with this back end of it, honestly. It's interesting, it's different. I didn't have this the last time that we connected where I was a guest.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And I've just realised it hasn't even picked up my right camera. So that something is obviously changing
I did
here in the
have to,
background.
yeah, I did have to set my camera before coming in. Well, actually, it was as I was coming in. I hadn't even set it then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this is just interesting.
It's
Yeah.
it's very strange. We've got to let me just see if I can set my camera back to my
I haven't got that. Oh,
USB.
still got my Zoom open. Better close that too.
Okay,
Tabs
there we go.
open.
Now I'll move my camera back.
Well, that's a better
You gotta love technology.
You can see me, but everyone else can't because I've got my little balls. Not balls, those little glowing things. Oh,
Hang
there
on a
you
sec.
go. Yeah, you can see them. That's if anybody.
There we go. Now they can
me.
see you. They just can't see me. Yeah. Maybe somebody in the comments can let us know if you can see Ros. And Marie's just saying, hi, Leanne, it's very delayed with your voice. That's very
Molly
strange.
was having some issues with that today too. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
so maybe, guys, I do apologise for. We'll just go up and down. We're going to make people dizzy in this sense. We will do the best we can tonight. I was hoping to invite some people in to share. You can always jump in because obviously we can still hear you. If you would like to share some experiences that you have had with your own physical side of ghost spirit type links, I will put the comment here in the link again here in the comments. Yeah. There we go. So it will come up as mytimetv.live. So Ros, have you had anything strange happen to you that you'd like to share?
Oh my goodness, it just depends what you mean by strange, I suppose. Over the years,
stranger than our normal strange.
Yeah, look, over the years there has been little incidences, but it's been more with the I suppose that sense of the moments where there's actually been the peripheral vision where like I'm actually looking at the camera now and it's from that side I would see the flashes of somebody or something that would actually have moved past or gone through the room or something like that. It's not that absolute. That's been the most common thing that I've seen for myself as far as the weird stuff, besides what I had experienced when we were playing around with seance and Ouija boards when we were young. Not a good thing to do. We found that out. So I don't. Whether I travel that path again, who knows? I'm of a more mature age now, and I probably have a better way of understanding what goes on and everything. But you still think, oh, don't know. Yeah. There was some interesting spirit connections in that process of kids making up what to do for a seance and really actually treading water in some respects and getting close to that borderline of can I say that word shit? Because I just did.
Go for it. No limits on my show.
It really was a very interesting experience and one that I'd say, look, when you're starting to explore and find out things for yourself, do be careful. It does pay to actually know a little bit about what you're actually delving into in any arena, really. And that's why I suppose even with what we know as our gut feeling, our intuitive stuff, and what you find out in as a further path for yourself, like I did, growing into understanding the psychic mediumship stuff. And I have done some training with it now, and it is a good idea to do that. So it just reinforces and strengthens what is a natural thing. And in that itself is a
Yeah.
good idea to have that basis. I wouldn't call it a safety net, but it certainly does help to know that you're safe and have that, that the extra learning on how to do things better than just like we did as kids. Mm. So,
Yeah,
mm.
definitely. And that's the thing. I'm going to flick from screen to screen here. So
It's funny,
I
not.
do apologize if I make anybody seasick with that, but for some reason the screens aren't working. And that is the thing. I do feel that it's something when we play with this stuff, we need to still protect ourselves because we can take on stuff, we can take on negative energies and stuff like that. And especially the Ouija
Yeah.
board is quite an interesting energy, and not too many people like to play with that, even those that
Well,
do know what they are doing.
I'm still I'm still a bit tempted by the process, purely because
Mm,
I do still, in my more mature like understanding now, all of those things are only tools. They're tools for connection and a method of understanding what those messages are. I think it's just that the different way of how that connection occurs, because how we and I don't want to give any instruction to anybody because I'm not trained in it and everything, but how we did do the process then was pretty much just watching movies and things like that, as you pick up as kids. And my interests certainly were along those lines, because being brought up as a good Methodist child, etc., yeah, I was a bit more of the rebel. And
I
going
was going to say, you good, Ros.
and going, I wasn't going against it, but by shit,
Yeah.
I challenged, and I challenged the norm of those times with that sort of upbringing, because I've never been one to really accept what someone else tells me. I do like to actually delve into it and explore myself, really. So, uh, kids, I'll watch pretty interesting movies and stuff like that, things that probably mum and dad didn't realise I was watching. You pick up on some of that stuff, and I was a prolific reader. So I was always
Yeah.
told when I was young, if you'd be able to do anything. You'd just read it and you'd be able to go and do it, the instruction books type stuff and the rest, which is pretty much right. I could
Yeah.
learn very easily. So I probably even read a few books and thought, yeah, I can do this, and away we went. And it's a tool.
Yeah.
And
They
there's
are.
many ways of connecting the dots, I suppose, in whichever suits you to move into learning what you need to.
Yeah,
Yeah, whichever
exactly.
whichever of anything that is. It doesn't have to be psychic mediumship. It can be anything. You want to be a carpenter, read a book, go do it. I did that. I
Yeah.
built some cupboards doing that. Borrowed a book from the library. Yeah, all of that sort of stuff. So yeah.
I love it.
Mm,
Yeah, no, that's great. We've got Wendy here. She says that she smells smoke when her mum is around, and I love the fact that you are trusting that, honey, because
mm.
I always say to people, trust where your mind goes first of all with that. She says, last night I smelled smoke after shave on and around me, but wasn't sure who it was. I actually get a grandfather figure with that, honey, and I want to say mum's side of the family as well with that. So, do you find, Ros, that they give you smells and different stuff as well?
Yeah, I have had that happen as far as the smells go, especially not long after my grandma passed on. There was a particular soap that she'd actually use when we visit and stay the night, because there
Yeah.
wasn't too many occasions where we'd be babysat, spend time at grandma's overnight. So it was really special when we did. And I just remembered from those couple of times that there was this particular green soap, and it was a beautiful smelling soap. So I remember that. And once she'd actually left the earth, type of thing, yeah, there were times where it was just that waft. You knew she was present. It was that smell that came in. It was the soap, and there was no
Yeah.
reason for it to be around. So yeah, definitely was that happening. And sometimes, well, actually, I've had the cigarette smell coming through, pipes, cigarette, tobacco, that type of thing. That's been a common one that I have smelt coming in when there's been somebody that's trying to connect. So that's one of the strongest ones that I probably would be smelling
Yeah.
as a perfume a cigarette
Yeah.
perfume.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's funny because I'm much the same. I quite often will get that old pipe smell. So I want to say like the
Yeah.
really old pipes that they would pack with tobacco. That seems to be a common one that I get as well. Jessica's just letting us know she constantly sees a whole lot of numbers. The thing that catches my attention, honey, in there is the 9. It is very much something coming to an end at that time, and the 1s are very much about new beginnings. But when you put the 11s together, can also, or like the 111s, can also very much mean spirit around you as well. So I quite often say to people, go and look up what those numbers mean, sort of thing. I think it's Doreen Virtue has a really good app on like a phone app that's only about $6-7 by memory, that you can put in those numbers and they tell you exactly what it means in that way. Ros, do you have any, what do you use for the numbers? You just Google as well?
I do have a numerology book here in a drawer somewhere. I think it's probably in the one behind me. It's just real. I think I go more with the gut feeling around the numbers. I did, you know, over the time it's been that lot of reading, the prolific reading. Some of it actually sticks in the memory, so I just sort of tend to go with what the trend in numbers are, and especially because with the tarot it really is that journey that we're taking. When you're looking at the major arcana, you're starting off with naught. We start as a naught, and and that is the joker, I think. Anyway, and you're going on the journey or the fall, whichever one. The labels don't really matter, but we're talking about the numbers. So you're moving through the 1, the 2, the 3, and the rest. So really between the 1 and the 9, it is that moving to the crest being the 5, and the chaos, confusion, what direction it's going to go, and then back down to a 9 of completion. So you're starting at the 0, 1, and you're completing a cycle towards the end, like at the 8, 9. So I sort of just feel more the trend of the numbers and what they mean as you're moving through as a journey. So at 2, you're actually connecting and partnering up and dividing. You know, sometimes it's the balance of what is left, right, or salt, pepper, that type of thing. And you're moving into the 3s, and that reminds me of, the witches around the cauldron, actually. Probably more, what's his name, Shakespeare, with whatever one of his plays or writings had the witches around the toil and trouble, that thingy. I know I've read it, but I can't remember the name of it. And moving through, so that there is that progress and process of what the numbers themselves correlate to. The 8 being the infinity, the more around a continuing cycle. I'm trying to think what that's for. Is that the one that's the wealth one?
The infinity sign,
Yeah.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Keeps coming back around.
it's just stuff that pops up in the head at the time, and you sort of think, oh yeah, you're on this. It's not the downhill, but it's the completion of a cycle, and you're working up to it. Like you have the cycles of the new moon to the full moon, and then from the full moon to the new moon back again. So we've got those cycles, and here's me talking with my hands.
That's all right, because I'm going like this in the background, but you can't see me. I love technical issues. I'm going, yeah, it comes around like just nobody else can see me. I can see myself.
It's certainly a different show tonight.
It is. So you will have to excuse our technical issues with that side of it. Now, I did notice somebody popped up into the waiting room here and has fallen out. So please do come back in. As much as we won't be able to see you or bring you up on screen, we can certainly hear you and have a conversation with you as well.
So when they popped in, you could see them. Did you have the option to have those 3 little screens up at once? You've got no option for multi-screens there at all.
No. Let me see if I can share my screen with you, Ros, so you can see what I'm getting. Let's see if this will work.
Oh, this is
just to give Ros the idea. Can you see my screen now?
As a share screen? No, not yet.
Yep.
There could be a delay.
It should have just come up. Oh, hang on. Show in stream would help. Let's see if it'll come up.
Oh, so you've got the staging and in the studio section.
Yeah, but how down here just above your screen?
Yeah.
We usually have four buttons or so along there, but we don't have it today. So that is really strange. But
rolling out.
Facebook. Yeah. Well, we've had changes in Be Live. I just stopped sharing my screen.
Yeah.
We have had changes in Be Live the last couple of days. There's more to come.
So can I share my screen?
Oh, we've got you sharing screen. Yeah, I can see your screen, but it's blank. There we go.
It's coming up with a countdown now. Is that sharing my screen? Can you see it or not?
I can see it here in the background, but
it's got
there we go. It's on screen.
So that is what I can see, except not multiple layers.
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing now. Oh, there's 3 screens now. There's the 2 of us.
There we are. How was that? Oh, this is very different still.
Oh, it's weird.
That's pretty cool. So let's hide that one. So we just have the 2. Obviously, something has just clicked in. Welcome, Ros. Lovely to see you.
Hi. So my bad hair day can be visible. Oh, well, it sort of is. I've always
Don't worry,
got bad
mine's
hair
the same.
day. It was good being the voice in the background.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I was thinking I'm going to make people sick bringing each one of us up and down. But, hey, we are on the verge of retrograde, so anything is very possible within that side of it.
Yeah, that's right. Mercury was
I think
retro.
It's tomorrow.
I'm just going to get my Astro Gold up now.
It can tell us what the universe is doing. Yeah. Oh, lovely. And Wanda says that when I hear a certain song, she knows her mum is with her. And that's the thing. Spirit will give us songs, signs, multiple different things that we can resonate with that side of it. So I love the fact that you're listening. So if anybody has something that they would like to share with us in the way of spirit and how they pick stuff up, please do feel free to click on the link and jump in. Here we go. Here's the astrology chart.
Yeah, so if anyone can...
You might want to explain how we read that, Ros.
I was just going to say, if anyone else can explain how to read it, I can't remember which one's Mercury. Which one is it?
Is that the M at the top? No, I could be wrong about that.
No.
It's been a long time since I looked at astrology.
Yeah, I know which one's Neptune. It looks like the fork down the bottom. I know which one is Mars. I know which one is Venus, the moon. Mercury, is that down near the moon? It's not in retrograde yet, if that's the case.
I think it's like early hours of tomorrow morning or sometime tomorrow that we go into retrograde.
Is Venus in retro? See, the way to check...
There's 3. Sagittarius, Venus, and...
That one there, see how it's got the red number?
Yep.
That means it's retrograde. So yes, I think is that the one that's Mercury? That's hard to hang on to. Yeah. So it'll be later. I'll turn that off now. I'll behave.
Love it. Adele's letting us know that she hears, well, I presume it's disembodied voices that she hears, not has been disembodied.
I'm glad it's not the head.
I would hope not. Yeah, no, that's it. Exactly. So beautiful. But all right. So I see we've got a lot of questions coming in as well. And we've got a few people here saying hi. So we've got Jade here as well. that just has popped in. Natalie is saying, well done. Beautiful. And Wendy is saying she can see us both. Yay, about time. So something obviously has just moved in the background of Be Live here as well. So what tonight's show was aimed to do is to... Are you looking?
Oh, no. Well, I was just noticing there were some previously. No, I was talking over you. I was being very rude. Bad-mannered. So you keep on.
Okay.
You keep onward. You keep onward. It's your show.
Okay, yeah. So what we thought we would do tonight, now that things are working better, we might have more luck with that, is invite somebody to jump on the guest link that is above. It has the guest 88 there. I'll see if I can grab it again and share it in the comments again. It will come up as mytimetv.live, and invite you to come up and share with us what it is that you have experienced in the physical form. It could be like Adair with the disembodied voices, it could be movements, orbs. For me, things become quite physical. My phone will quite often go flying across my desk, or something will go crashing and banging in the house. All sorts. My kids hear voices like little girls running around laughing, and my daughter actually thinks that there's something in her bathroom as well with that. So you never know. Beautiful. And Jessica's just saying that her grandfather loves ABBA, and when we were on the way home, so you obviously hear that at times too. I always say people trust that stuff.
Yeah, was that Jessica Hardy? Because there's a further comment. There's a Jessica Hardy who's got a further comment up. Well, what I can scroll through, because I can actually scroll through the comments too. That she's seen her granddad's figure just after he died. He jingled a Christmas bell on the tree when she was home alone, and that actually really scared her. But he was just letting her know that he was there. So, and she was feeling down. That's the sort of thing that I really like seeing that as, sharing something that was really personal, because it's a vulnerable thing at times when you have spirit visit. It can be very scary. Yeah.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I remember when my grandfather died, like my oldest daughter was only 3 months old when he died. So I'm talking like nearly 21 years ago, or 20 odd years ago. And I was going through a lot of changes back around that time, where I didn't always understand what I was feeling and sensing and stuff like that. So things had gone from just the knowing and the creativity side to actually starting to see the physical side of it. And I remember having people at my house the night before my grandfather's funeral, because it was in Adelaide. My family comes more from the country, more country areas, I should say, is probably better English. And I remember going, I've got a big day tomorrow. My baby's gone to bed. I'm going to go and have an early night. And I dozed off to be waken with my grandfather standing at the end of my bed telling me to look after his little girl. Now, that's what he called my daughter, was his little girl, in that short time that we had with her and him together, sort of thing. And to see the physical outline, like I was looking at him like I had, 2 or 3 weeks prior to his passing. So, and I know Adair has had a few experiences herself, even to the fact of doors being locked, which is quite often a common occurrence in my daughter's end of the house with the bathroom and the toilet. You'll go out or you'll be in the other part of the house, the door's open, and all of a sudden you hear this massive slam. You go and the door's locked itself. So I always say to people, trust who's there. Adair's just got a question here saying, what do you do to get peace from spirit? Did you want to take that one, Ros? Or
me? I sort of shared that yesterday morning,
Smart.
didn't I? It's like the light switch. I turn it on and off. That's just how I deal with it, and it works for me. So, for someone else, well, for you, it's a different way that you might use to someone else or whatever. It's just finding what works and trusting that, and knowing for sure that you've got the peace. Yeah. they'll let you know.
That's it.
It's
Because it is,
urgent, don't they?
yeah, that's it. Because it is really important, like for us as communicators doing this work, we do need to have that downtime, that off time. Oh, I can see Ross's hands and mouth moving, but I couldn't hear her for a sec.
We've got a bit of unsyncing thingies happening, I think, because your screen on my end faltered too, and I thought, do I keep talking or what's happened? Has it dropped out? Ooh, don't want that.
Yep. That's it. So, well, we've got disembodied voices happening now. Our body and our voice is doing different things, so got to love changes, but we will see how we go. But yeah, it is important to have that downtime because we can't stay open all the time because it is exhausting in that sense. But if you've got spirit in the house, and you want to move it, I would recommend saging your house. Sometimes those spirits they're not always harmful or scary. They can be quite peaceful and they're quite happy to, to coincide with us as human beings as well. But if you feel uncomfortable with it, smudge through the house is a good way of doing it as well. Excellent.
Yeah,
We've got a few questions and stuff here as well.
yeah. One
Yeah.
of the things too, as I'm pondering that, how do you can actually have a discussion with them even if you don't think you're psychic or got mediumship skills or anything. If you feel that there is spirit there it's making you uncomfortable, you can chat with them, just say, look, I want you to leave. Because one of the things of the universal natural laws of things is that they do actually, they are meant to be doing what they're asked to, like as far as the connection of
Respect.
purpose is, that they're here to help. They can't interfere, as in spirits and the rest. It's only just advice, guidance, and that type of thing. That technically, my understanding and belief about it is that they're not meant to be interfering, and you can actually ask for them to leave if you feel that you need the space and to clear it. Knowing that with 100% positivity that that's what they're going to do. When you ask, they will leave. So, saging is really good to clear afterwards as well. But you can actually ask them to go. Yeah. That's my
Mm,
understanding.
that's it. There is just, yeah, I agree too. And that's the thing, like, see, for me, I set my intentions with my bedroom at night that they can't come in unless it's urgent. Then I know I need to take note of what they do want if they wake me up, sort of thing. Otherwise, I get woken up constantly if I don't set those intentions. And I believe if we give them the respect, they give us the respect back, sort of thing, with that side of it. And I've got one playing on the top of my hair, but I've got Mary just commenting that she tried to come in, but she can't. So I'm not sure what's going on there, Mary. You do need to have a Google, what is it? Yeah, it's Google Chrome and headphones cap sort of thing to do
Even if
that.
it's like
So
those things.
please, if anybody does want to pop up. Yeah, that's it. So Adair says he asked, have asked them to leave before, and yes, they're gone quiet for the moment. Yeah, I find too, Ros, I don't know if you've noticed this as well, that sometimes it depends on the universal energy as well. They can become more physical. Have you noticed that?
For myself, not lately, probably because I haven't wanted to connect and tap into a lot lately. So I suppose, yes, there is those moments where, like that, smelling the smoke and the rest. So that in itself, even though you probably can't see the smoke or, as far as the actual physical factor of it, it is still a physical sense. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Look, there's times when I'm driving is one of the more obvious ones that I feel myself now. Coming back from the shack the other day, I was and I know it probably doesn't sound like it's their intervention, but it's just that sense of being guided by which way do I come home? Do I go straight through the city, or do I come through the back way, and that type of thing? And I just went where I felt I needed to go as I was moving through. It was the back way, and it was against what the bloody Google. I swore. What the Google Maps were trying to tell me. And every time that she needed to recalibrate, you'd hear that thud type thing, as you could hear that it was almost like the cogs in a brain realigning. And that it's a weird sensation being in tune with that and saying, aha, I beat you. I'm not doing what you're telling me. And that sort of factor, but I was going with what I was guiding myself to being. That path I was driving, and yes, I had the memory of it, but it was also with it was a weird sensation in a way, because it didn't feel like the normal trip back home. I just drove through. I didn't want to sort of stop anywhere, besides I had to fill up with fuel. But it was just that as the there was something set there, and I needed to get that purpose done. So in that physical sense, even though it didn't seem physical, so I know you know what I'm saying. I hope everyone else does.
Just like the cat that just walked down my passageway that literally isn't there in human form anymore, sort of thing. So, and it caught my attention enough to actually stop and look to see if it was a cat, sort of thing. So, for me, quite often it's like I go through periods of time, and I know it's universal energy is in heighten, and I've got technology flashing in the background here as well. But it's, I'll see the orbs. I will see those figures. They're more physical than just the shadows that I might see at times. Things move, things turn themselves on when they shouldn't be, lights flash all that time. TV changes channel at times as well. And sort of thing. So I don't know why I'm saying sort of thing either. So whoever in spirit that keeps touching the top of my head is really trying to get my attention. I just noticed Taylor says, what comes to you, beautiful ladies, regarding my spiritual path? Now, I love the fact that your spiritual path is being put in front of you, honey. She's been considering to take your membership, Leanne. Go for it if you're drawn to it, honey. And this is the thing with these energies this year, a lot more people, or probably the last year and a half even, a lot more people are becoming more aware of their spiritual path and that connection that they do have. It's kind of like an awakening is probably the best way to put it. My feeling, honey, is that you've got a lot ahead of you. You need to trust your instincts more so and just listen with that, okay? Because I get everything's busy around you, and I don't know why I'm using my hands a lot tonight as well, but I do get that very hectic energy around you that you just need to still your mind, okay? Were you picking anything up there, Ros, as well?
Well, I was... now I've lost it. I've done that several times today. It's almost grab the chance while you've got it there. Follow that, don't wait around here's me use my hands. Don't wait around too long for taking each step. I think it's stepping forward in the trust that where you've got that direction guidance happening to take it as it's being presented to. There's a lot of work that each and every one of us who are coming to our awareness, we have still got a lot of work to do, even though there is that critical mass has been reached for ascension process and everything. It doesn't stop there. So we're still needing to move forward on that journey of getting things moving, getting more people moving into that pathway as well. So, yes, if you're being guided to pick up on those sorts of studies and learnings and connections, yes, step out in faith and do it. It's your direction. It's what you're being moved to.
Yeah. And I believe it does get put in front of us. For me, it certainly did with me. I didn't have that choice. Or I always had that interest, and I sense things, but I didn't really understand it. But all of a sudden, the signs were being put in front of me, literally to physical signs of opening a book, and these messages are jumping out of the magazine at me and different stuff like that, ads and different things. So I believe that when it's our time, those signs get put in front of you to go down that pathway. So, and I want to say, no matter what we do, whether it's our spiritual path or family, work, whatever, trust your gut instincts, because that is a really big thing. What are you seeing in the comments there, Ros, that's
I'm
grabbing
just
your
seeing
attention?
Tyler actually responding. Thank you. I really appreciate your insights. You both are beautiful souls. Thank you. I feel a bit distracted from a pathway, which is why you may be feeling a bit lost there, Ros. Look, the energies around me lately have been very scattered, because I know that there's stuff I still need to clear away to give that clean slate that I've been directed, I've been given the opportunity for a clean slate, and I need to actually figure out which stuff I need to swipe off. Is there anything I need to keep? It's interesting. Sometimes the process is not easy, but it's there for us. We need to work through it.
Yep. Exactly. And they, I find they quite often will give me direction, but you've got to do the work in between. We can't just go from, I wish we could turn it on like that switch on and off, Ros, that with you shutting off the spirit sort of thing, that we could go, right, we need to be here, but we need to go to there sort of thing with that side of it. And my feeling is, Tyler said about being lost. I get a lot of my clients feel very much lost in the moment sort of thing when I connect with them. But I believe that is where we need to take that step back out of the energy and take a deep breath and just ground ourselves, clear our mind, and allow the energy to come in. Usually we get lost because we're off track a little bit or not quite heading in the direction we need to. So it brings that havoc energy in as well with that. All right. So I'm just clicking on comments now.
Yeah, I was just adding to what you just said, though. That process of stepping back and being a witness, and just watching what's going on without us being involved in it, and just watching, that's probably one of those times where that's a really good technique to use, to step back and allow that time to pass.
That's it. Yeah. And sometimes it's just also allowing ourselves to find balance as well. Let everything catch up in that sense. So, Crystal just says, what career can you see me choosing? Really struggling on finding my way. I'm actually drawing around children with you, honey. So I'm going to say working with children.
And I'm wondering whether it's in a more nursing style, in that type of caring thing, nursing, in that younger arena. So whether that's something. I just saw more a uniform style around her rather than, do nurses still wear uniforms, don't they? Who knows?
Yeah, pretty sure
yeah. There's a feeling of a delay, like even a little bit more of a stretch in that delay at the moment. I don't want to talk over you, but it's hard to know when you are sometimes. I'll let it go. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, is more the nursing type thing.
Yeah, beautiful. So if we do talk over each other, we're not meaning to. It's just the delay with everything that is going on here in the background. So, God, I love it. And it's funny, and it doesn't surprise me that we are having technical issues tonight, in the sense of the retrograde and all that going on, but also the fact that we chose to talk about spirit tonight rather than necessarily focusing on the messages from spirit. So it really doesn't surprise me at all that technology is having its own little conniption in that sense. I don't even know where that word came from, conniption. So the energy is a little bit strange in that way. It is. It's good energy. To me, it feels like the change that we're going through at the moment is quite uplifting. Are you feeling that, Ros? It's got that positive energy with it.
Yeah, look, definitely that. It has actually been for me, as far as the last few months. I know, that there has been the tragedy, as well as tragedy, grief, and the down, but it's in the whole thing. It's that there is the up about it because of knowing what my own beliefs are around what death is and everything. But it's just that there's been a whole positive, even from when the coronavirus started to be spread around, in all that stuff and the panic and the fear and everything. I didn't feel any of that. I still don't. It still feels like there's at that heart center, there really feels like there's an upliftment. There is something that is bigger and more than what we put our human minds to. So it really does feel like an ascension. It feels like that lift.
Yeah.
I suppose like a spaceship that's got the power up and it's off and up, and it feels like something huge like that. Because who's seen an actual spaceship in real life? You only
be pretty cool.
I wish. Well, it'd be pretty cool. Be
careful what you
You mean they're real? Yeah, well, of course they are. We just haven't seen them.
There's the thing, spirit doesn't scare me, but that might. I love it.
Mice. Like the simplest thing, like mice that run around. I'm not scared of mice as such, but if you see one all of a sudden that jumps out and around a corner and the rest, you go, eh! I do. They don't scare me. But it does have that. Now the dogs are going off.
Beautiful. We got Josephine here. Just she hears voices outside of her window around 2 a.m. I don't know if it's actual people or spirit. I'm actually drawn to spirit there, honey. And the other thing that catches my attention is it's around 2 a.m. in the sense that you may be. It's not just once. I get the feeling it's been a few times with that. So quite often people do find themselves experiencing the same thing around the same times in that way as well. So I do feel very much it is spirit, honey, in that side. I remember I think my husband and I had only been together 12, 18 months or something. Might have been a bit longer than that because we were living together, and he reckoned I used to talk to the bubbles outside of the window. He thought I was dreaming, but what I know now, that was spirit.
So was he actually seeing the bubbles?
He thought I was dreaming. No. Apparently he would be having a conversation with me, and by what I was actually talking out loud rather than in my head like I normally would when I communicate. He asked me what I was doing, and apparently I replied back to him I was talking to the bubbles, and it wasn't just once or twice. It was apparently multiple times I've been reminded all these years later. I think he thought I was going a bit nutty, but still he hung around.
Yeah.
So, and it is interesting how they get your attention.
Well, it is the way that they can.
You were going to say something, Ros?
Just looking because in
Yeah,
the comments thing. Well, I'm seeing them that side, but you know what I mean, that cross thing. I'm seeing in there, and Nietzsche's underneath. Can you see who's trying to get what message through to me, please? I can't see the message, but I'm feeling like it's actually an auntie. So that's
which name was that, Ros? Sorry?
I think it's underneath. You had Josephine on there just before, didn't you? Didn't it?
Yeah. Let me just
yeah,
go back.
that's the next one under. I can't. Oh, 2109. I do get the timestamp there. Need to lines. It's just, can you see who's trying to get what message through to me, please? I actually, it does feel like an auntie. To me, it feels like there's some form of a safety issue around what the message might be around something that's a safety issue. So whether is it a warning about I don't think it's driving. I'm feeling electricity. So probably there's whether there's a short or something I'm feeling it's kettle or something. It's something small like that. What are you feeling around it, Leanne? It seems like a very practical thing to just get it checked out or get a new kettle or something. There seems to be a safety thing there, and I do feel like it's an auntie or something, that type of relative. That's
and it's funny because as Ros Sorry, that delay is weird. As Ros was saying that, I felt like I kept wanting to go back to the kettle.
That delay is there, isn't
I
it?
can see Ros is moving on, but nothing's coming out. Oh my God, gonna love it.
Is there anyone in the crowd who is wanting to be pregnant?
Oh, there we go. Who talks with their hands? Because I'm noticing both of us are doing weird, like different things than we normally would. We're both talking with our hands, those pauses and stuff. It's not just about technology as well. I keep scratching the palm of my hand. Not sure what that is, but there is a lot of energy around at the moment. And we've got Brandy here saying that she is welcome, honey. Pleased that you are joining in. Now, there was one that caught my attention. Natalie says, will I be travelling to Victoria in the near future? I get yes, but not for a while yet, honey. So to me, it's the feeling that whether it's to do with still restrictions or something comes up that it will sort of slow you down in that way as well. Okay. And Crystal says, thank you. I'm currently studying my Cert 3 in early childhood education and care. Beautiful. So she's got both. These make me feel more positive, and I do feel that you are on the right track with that, honey. So I keep saying to people at the moment, just look at what's being put in front of you. If it feels good, go with it. Try not to get too much in your own head, because a lot of the time people do question a lot of things in that way. All right. Courtney says, anything I should be mindful of with my daughter and myself? What's the paperwork you're expecting, honey? Because I actually feel like I've got documents coming in that sense. So I just get the reference to look at the importance to the documents, look into that before acting too quickly, is the reference I get. Do you sense anything there, Ros?
Well, I was sensing behind me, and it felt like I wouldn't say a stab in the back, but it's somewhat. It feels like there is that interference of behind. What's being spoken behind your back and being dealt with behind your back. Because that's where I certainly feel it, and I almost feel the pressure on the back of the head as if it's like the head slap type that ow, like that.
You did connect them.
I did do that. You're saying spirit's getting physical?
Literally. The senses are out the window.
So, that's what it feels like. So when you're saying the papers or something like that, it almost feels like it's some sort of a legal something thingy, or words being said that are getting to a serious point, as if you wanting to take it legal or something like that. It feels like not the stab in the back, but certainly not somebody that's caring too much for you to speak to your front. So, yeah.
Yeah. So watch out for that. And we got Jacinta here saying, hi, I'm starting a course. Will I complete it and pass, please? I'm feeling nervous. I do feel you will, honey, but I also feel that you put a lot of pressure on yourself as well. So see yourself coming to the end of that course. Don't question it. And this is the thing I've been finding a lot lately. People are in that, I think it comes with that fearful energy that we've been in lately as well, but they get sort of stuck in that do I, don't I sort of energy in that sense, rather than seeing the end picture. We're bringing that havoc energy or that unsettled energy into things. So stay focused. See that, stamp on the certificate as it's finished. Okay. So wishing you all the very best there as well. Okay, Anita says, well, thank you, ladies. We'll definitely go out and buy a new kettle, as I have noticed lately that it keeps clicking sounds after I have used it. So have been switching it off at the so you've got the feeling already that there's something wrong. So I love the fact that you're listening. So, that's confirmation for Rob as well. But
yeah, I was reading that and brought it up, and I thought, you're starting to read the one I'm reading. So you'd already brought it up. Like, yes, I was reading it before. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I j It's like, but I love the fact that she was listening to listening to her intuition that, or
Mhm.
Nita was, sorry, honey, that
Yeah,
there wasn't something quite right with the kettle. So I would say yes, chuck it and get a new one, is my feeling
yeah,
with that as well. And we've
yeah.
got Josephine here saying, uh, "Thanks for cleaning up the voices, out muscled window. Do you see
Oh,
me buying a house? I recently made an offer near daughter's school." Yes. Is that in the
yeah,
northern Adelaide area, honey? Because 'Cause I'm drawn north of the city with that. So
yeah.
that
I
would be
think
very
Josephine
interesting to know.
had Josephine put that further up out the north, it near Parafield Gardens. There's one further up at 2114. Because as I was reading that, then I thought, yeah, I
21.
do feel that you're going to be, yeah. The thing keeps, oh, you know how it keeps sliding up and down,
Oh,
and your mouse misses it.
oh, it does.
So it's that one. Do you see my
Yeah,
offer
do you
being
see me
accepted?
offer accepted?
Yeah, Parafield Gardens. So you're right on the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I felt the
Yeah.
same.
I was
Yes.
just being dragged. Yeah. So you will have to let us know, honey, how you go. How exciting.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Beautiful. Jacinta says, "Thank you. That puts my mind at
Oh,
ease.
hey,
Aged
Stu.
care, here I come." Beautiful.
Yeah.
Excellent. So keep this going, honey. What you put your mind to is, I get the reference to, you will make happen in that way. So, and we've got Deb saying, "I am feeling so confused and unsure of everything I'm doing, not sure what's going on." Okay, so this is, honey, where I would say take a step back out of that energy. Take a moment for yourself and ground yourself. Take a nice deep breath
Mm,
and allow your head to clear. My feeling is you're changing direction. So when the energy just starts to settle, because it is in heightened. Actually, hashtag
mm.
empath in the comments if you feel that you are an empath as well, because quite often, and I'm getting poked in the back of the head by spirit, I'm trying very hard to ignore them tonight. It is very, very often we find that we are affected by that universal energy when things are in heightened as well. So
Mm.
I get the reference to things will settle down, but you are changing directions a little bit at the moment, hun. So go
Yeah.
with the flow. All right.
And I felt too,
So beautiful.
with that, that the question came up in my mind, what do you want to be doing? You know, as far as you're feeling confused and unsure of everything you're doing, what do you want to be doing? And be clear on that. And that'll help get you that direction too, rather than being confused. Yeah.
Mm.
So look at what
Actually,
you want.
when Roz said that, I was also drawn to the fact that a lot of people do things to please others. So
Mm,
we're either sort of pushed in a direction because others put their opinion or expectations on us. I honestly think this decade is very much going to be about us. So we need to nurture us and do what is right by us, and go down that pathway in that sense. Don't worry about what
mm,
everybody else wants in that sense. So, well, Roz, it
yeah.
looks like we are out of time. I can't believe that hour has gone so quick.
It has, hasn't it? Yes. Just looking up at my clock. I was sort of thinking as you were saying that last bit, um, what was it? It was about what, you know, acknowledging that really we need to be looking at what we want for us, because it is that that focus. I mean, it's not a self-centeredness. It's because we are living our lives. It's only us that has that control over it, and our choices are ours to make. So you actually deserve. It is your responsibility to actually make those choices that are best for you. But of course, it does still, you tune into what actually fits into the bigger picture of where you are in what's needed globally, you know, as far as humanity goes. But by living your truest and best you, that's that's the purpose of it. It's being the best you. And when you feel that guidance and direction to a certain path, it's because that's where you're meant to be going. If to trust that guidance, really know and trust it, and that's our responsibility to know and trust that. It is a cycle, because as we learn more, we're changing and growing, and being more of the best us. Yeah. And
Yeah,
there was
that's
something
it.
about my age came in. You said something about this decade, moving into the 2030s. God, I'm going to be 70 then. I well and truly deserve what I've moved into by then. That's what flitted into my mind as you said that. And I thought, what a way to end the show. I'm going to be 70. Sorry about that.
Well, I've still got 10 years or 9.5 years to go with that. So, and
it's
there's
so
maybe
fast
what
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has, hasn't it? Time flies. What Ros was saying before the age bit, because Natasha, I know you're nowhere near that age. When you I get reading your comment, do you see me going through with my dreams and becoming a youth worker, please? I get a yes though, because the same thing, honey, with you. I get when you put your mind to something, you're going to make it happen. And to me, dreams are not those things that we necessarily just dream about. They are the things that we put in action. So if you're a doer, do that doing and make it happen, make it reality. It's you probably can't see it on the screen at the moment, but my favorite saying this year is think it, feel it, live it. So think about what you want to do, start feeling that energy moving in and live it, and it will make it happen in that way. So all right, so thank
Leanne,
you everybody for their comments.
If you took the scroller off, you think it do it thingy would be sitting on my boots.
Yeah.
I can just see the two.
Have you got white colour boots? I know you want to show your boots.
No, it's just sitting on top. It's not on the. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you can put your scroller up again.
And if you lean forward and we get more scared, we can see what it says.
See my décolleté.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. See it. I do have to change the colour of that because it doesn't show up very well down at the bottom there. So
thank you, Leanne.
No, it doesn't. Thank you for coming on, Ros. It didn't go necessarily to plan with the technical issues, but as normal, we've had an amazing laugh again, and we just love connecting with everybody in the comments. Before I let you go, Ros, would you like to tell people how they can get in contact with you if they would like to do a reading or learn how to do cards and stuff like that?
I do have the Facebook page that is Ros Boundy. So if you just search Ros Boundy and you see the hair in the icons, no, that's being a bit too lax, isn't it? It is, Ros Boundy, at Ros Boundy, I think, is actually that page, but my booking's done through hypnosisplus.com.au. I shouldn't do this, but I'm not as fussed about where it's booked. Just get in touch with me and we can connect it that way. It's plans for doing a more detailed Lenormand course are coming up. I just haven't got it down on paper. I've got it in here and scheduled in my Zoom, but I haven't got it down on paper. So that's coming. That'll be starting July. So I better get off me bum and do it, hadn't I? Get the promo stuff out. I'm
the same.
Yeah, that is the next
one.
So.
Beautiful. Oh, lovely. Louisa, I am pleased we have made your night, honey, and made you laugh. So that's good. Usually when Ros and I get together, we always have a good laugh. So anybody wants some entertainment? Ros and I are planning something in the very near future, but we will release that stuff as we get a bit more organised. But you might get the chance to actually come out and have a laugh with us as well. So if you're in our area, where we will be at the time. So excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Ros, for joining in. Just a reminder, guys, check out my new website, leannewinston.com. If you want to make a booking with me, you can certainly do that through my website under the services. Don't forget, while you're in there, check out the new members area as well, because as of the 1st of July, those people getting readings on these lives will be the people inside of my membership area. I will answer some questions for people, but I won't be reading spirit in that sense. So that will be mainly focused on the members area at this stage. So, Ros, what have you got coming up? Anything besides the workshop that needs to be put on paper?
Oh, goodness. Look, there's so many ideas, just not anything that's concrete yet. Concrete's too heavy. Yeah, look, it's just keeping an eye out, an ear out, and flowing with spirit, going where guided. So that's what I've got coming up. Yeah. Live streaming. I just love the live streaming, so I know that'll be more of the focus. And classes.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you drop over to Ros's page, Ros goes live every morning doing card readings, sort of thing. What is it, about 8 a.m. Adelaide time?
8. Yeah, it is. It's 8.
Yeah. So if you want a bit of guidance each day, jump into those streams. You can catch it as a replay if you can't catch Ros live, but they are very much there. So
that one is a general card reading. Yeah. Not for personal life.
Yeah.
Like we sometimes do here. It's general card spread, but it's all fun. It's all guided, and we take what we need. That's where what we receive anyway is what we need.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ros, for joining in. We will get you back another night as well, and you can catch Ros and I on Ros's show on Tuesday mornings at 10:30 here on My Time TV as well. Thank you, and good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.